What's up, guys? My name is IK and welcome to the Muse. Not only has Smooth Talk been running for over 2 decades, my guest today has other two successful shows. He has accomplished so much that it is impossible not to get inspired. He is one of the most influential TV personality. Ladies and gentlemen, Smooth IK. Let me just start off by saying I'm grateful for this opportunity.
I'm glad that we're talking.
Yeah. First things first. My name is also Innocent, and my middle name is Kalaluka. So usually when people hear that my name is Ike, they usually ask if we are related. Would you care to clarify that?
Well, we could be actually because your mother is from Senanga, my dad is from Senanga,
Okay.
so it's very possible that we are related. So yeah, in fact, I think as a human race we're all related, and we've got the same surname or same name, then we're definitely related. So I think we are.
Yeah. Well, Muikutwez, we might be related, we might not be related, but all in all, we share the same name, and that is great. Now, let's get back to your life as a TV presenter. As from what I've read, you used to have passion for football. My next question is: have you always known that you're going to be a TV personality?
No, I think my passion was football, and at the most I thought I would play, maybe professional football, but football was my life for a very long time. So no, TV, radio, all that was really, it just happens. It just happened to come along and somehow.
How did you come up with Smooth Talk? I mean, it's been running for over 2 decades.
Yeah.
It's been running for that long, and my question basically is, what inspired that specific talk show?
What inspired that really was my stay in South Africa. At the time that I trekked to South Africa, I was actually hoping to go and live there because my mother is from there.
Oh.
So and our firstborn is actually a South African now. He went there, got his citizenship and everything. So I was hoping to move as well. My papers took a bit too long, and in the end, I decided to come back to my father's land. But while I was there, I watched a lot of television, and South Africa's TV is obviously ahead of ours. Their adverts, for instance, are out of this world. But they've got a lot of good programming as well. And one of the shows that I was watching then was Fat Joe. I saw it start, I saw them advertise and put it out there. I thought it was the biggest show ever. And by the time it hit the screens, though, I didn't think it was that big. Well, it was, but I didn't think it kind of hit me in a different way because I looked at it and I said, but you know what? For all the plump around it, I think I can present a program like this.
Yeah.
It's no biggie really. So that's how I started telling myself, you know what, maybe let me do something. And also the fact that I felt all the time that I was Zambian artists, and by artists I don't just mean musicians. I think a lot of in different forms have not been celebrated. We don't celebrate them enough, and yet they make our lives happier because other than work, then you want to go and watch football, you want to go and watch a play, you want to appreciate art, you want to go and listen to music. So all those people I felt were not appreciated, and I could see how our friends in SA were being appreciated.
Yeah.
And we were making an effort to appreciate them. So I decided, when I get back, I think I'm going to do this.
Sure. Okay. Did you get the same inspiration when you decided to start Born and Bred?
Born and Bred is a bit different. By then I was obviously into the industry already, but I felt with Born and Bred it was really like I really loved how the music was going, the music side of things was going. I think it's one of the arts that has really been a forerunner. Now I have a lot of film that is catching up and even bringing awards, but music has always been in the forefront. But I felt that our videos, though, were not at the level, and I felt one of the ways of pushing the guys to get to do good videos is to have them compete. So I thought I should do a show called Born and Bred where I would have a segment called Hit or Miss, which I started having. And by the end of the year, I decided, you know what can I do for the end of the year? Maybe let me do awards. Then I did awards, and awards, obviously, everybody wants to be awarded and wants to be deemed the best R&B, the best in
Obviously.
hip hop. So because of that, obviously, the competition was going to come, and it did come, and I'm so glad that I think it's it's even more than I thought. Yes, I knew there would be competition, but I didn't know it would be that stiff. And it really brought about a whole lot of growth because everybody now would be looking around to say what makes a good video, even looking beyond the borders to see what they can do, what they can get of something else that they're seeing out there. And yeah, so basically that's how that inspiration came. It was really because I felt that we're lagging behind where video production was concerned.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Well, it's I think I've not really seen the Born and Bred Awards in a very long time. Basically, what I'm trying to find out is what happened to the Born and Bred Music Awards.
Well, a lot of internal things, at the institution, but just to say that we should be having them at the most next year. Yeah, they should be back, but yeah, they've not been around for 6 years, I think. So yeah, just to say, glad to have them back. I think it's something that is important. But also, what I like is what the awards did, because it allowed, I think, for a lot of other people also to start thinking, you know what, we can have awards of this. Now we've got radio awards, the Kwacha Awards, for instance, where every province participates. We've got of course, the Ngoma Awards have always had them. They too, at some point, went away. They came back. There's always, there's always something. What's important is not to give up, and to continue with the struggle. So, I think we are equally coming back. But I'm very glad that we've got so many awards now. Again, some of them have gone away, but at least that people are thinking like that, to say we need to award ourselves for the efforts that we're putting in, and that's the only way we grow. So, I'm glad that the Born and Bred Awards equally were an inspiration in that sense.
All right. So is this confirmation that the Born and Bred Awards are going to be officially back?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
That's good. That's great. So having been in the industry for this long, I know when you're starting out, I'm sure you must have faced a bit of rejections from, let's say, an artist that was doing so well. Maybe you requested for them to come through on Smooth Talk. My question basically is, how best do you deal with rejection in this industry?
Well, I can talk about that. Only that I don't know that there's an issue I had with an artist. I think at the time, because it was not a platform like that, people embraced it. Artists wanted to be on it. So I really didn't have that problem at all.
Okay.
People, I think there used to be Frank Talk. Other than that, there was not any other talk show. And Frank Talk really was everything, politics and all that. Whereas this show was really just for the entertainment
Music
sector. So to get artists on the show, quite the opposite. They wanted to be on the show. It's me who would say, no, maybe not this, and find ways and means of. Because at the beginning, I used to be very soft about it. Whoever wants to come, I would agree. At times, the music is not very good. Then I realized I'm not helping.
Yeah.
And now I became, just brutal. I'll just tell you, if your music doesn't make sense, I'll tell you it doesn't. If the video is not good, I'll tell you it's not good. And some of them were upset, but some of them came back and said, you know what? After what you said, of course it hurt, but I came back stronger. I really worked hard, and I'm very glad we had that opportunity to talk. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I guess you not having to face rejection. I mean, that must have felt great.
Yeah. So the rejection by way of the show, by way of the program, obviously you have people who felt it won't last. People who I had some newspapers write about that. There used to be a newspaper. It was pink. I don't know why they picked that color. They really felt that the show won't last. How many celebrities do you have in Zambia? That to have a show where you're just talking to celebrities, which for me it wasn't about. I got where they were coming from, and then again it allowed me to broaden the scope. Maybe when I started, I was very music inclined, and I realized no, celebrities is anybody who's celebrated. An author can be celebrated. A painter can be celebrated. An actor can be celebrated. So they helped me to broaden my horizon. So needless to say, I had outlived that pink newspaper, so we did fine.
Yeah. So initially when you started Smooth Talk, it was supposed to be just about music, but as time went by, you decided to broaden the view and everything.
Yeah, the inspiration really was the music. I felt it was entertainment by way of music mainly, but also like I said, with that criticism of that paper, for instance, it allowed me to think. and rethink. And I ended up getting to a conclusion that obviously entertainment is not just music. Entertainment is everything else. But I still have people, even in this day and age, who will say, name 5 celebrities and they'll name 5 musicians. So we live and learn. But I learned that very quickly, that celebrities are not musicians.
Oh yeah. It's anyone who's
celebrated.
True that. Now, do you feel like there's an artist who got the recognition because of your show, specifically because they came on Smooth Talk? Do you think there's such an artist?
I would think that the best people to say that would be themselves. I just provided a platform. Whether that platform means 1 or 2 of them have come to say, well, okay, a number of them have come to say, look here, the platform really helped me. I didn't know ZNBC reaches all those ends. There's a guy who once said he came on the show, and then he called me after like 2 weeks and said, you know what? I can't remember that part of the country. And I step out and they're like, we saw you on Smooth Talk. He didn't expect that anybody would recognize him out there. So and at the time, remember there was only the NBC, for instance, very little, very few other, if at all, maybe a movie at some point came through, but there was really nothing else. So that's what people were watching. So it kind of helped them in a sense, almost all of them, But like I said, the best people to speak would be themselves. But I think that, it did help quite a number to get the recognition that they deserved, and really that's what I was aiming for, and I'm glad it helped.
Let's talk about social media. Obviously, when you guys started this some time back, I would say 20 years back, you never had platforms like Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Maybe YouTube was there, but it wasn't mainly used.
No, it wasn't even.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to find out is, right now, which social media platform would you say is best for, let me just say, content creation? If you're doing something, for instance, what I'm doing, which social media platform would you say is the best for me to put my content out there?
Well, really the last I checked, I think a lot of Africa is being ruled by Facebook more than anything else. Of course, they're all catching up now. In Europe, it could be very different. Instagram is big, for instance, in Europe and all that. But in Africa mainly, and in Zambia to be specific, most people are on Facebook. It's the easiest one they have access to. YouTube, they'll think their bundles are running off more than Facebook, for instance. Yeah. Whether it's true or it's in the mind, we really don't know. But also because Facebook, I think, came earlier. So nowadays, people get used to what they've always known. The rest, even with me, I'm not on all these platforms. I don't have the time to be on everything that is there, as long as social media. So you find that Facebook is the easiest for most people. So for now, I would say, I could be wrong, but I think that Facebook is one where you have more people than any other platform in Zambia.
All right. Well, that's good. I think that kind of gives you some perspective of what you should do as a content creator. I think I should have asked this question before my previous one. You've been in the industry for a very long time, for a very, very long time. But I think you're one of the most respected TV personalities or respected people in the entertainment industry. How have you managed not to create any drama or controversy around your brand and around your name?
I think it's a deliberate effort. I think that in life, you have to do things, with foresight. I remember there's a time that we had a meeting, and one of our my supervisor then decided to tell us off about late coming, for instance. And I raised my hand and said, you know what, I don't know that the blanket statement sits well with me, because I'm not a late comer. And I said, because it's deliberate. My arriving on time every day is deliberate. So if it's deliberate, I have to get recognition for it, and not a bollocking for it, because I don't understand why I'm sitting in this.
Why you're being included?
Yes, can the late comer be spoken to? Yeah. So I think what you give is what you get. So I deliberately make sure I don't get into drama, and maybe my lifestyle also kind of helps because you won't find me clubbing. You find me at a club once in a while,
Yeah.
mostly because I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
But I do go to see you. You and I just went down
Yeah.
at the new mall there to just check out the new place. Just have a
True.
look, you know. But I'm always very sober minded, So I really don't fall into a lot of traps, But you know, uh, not to say I don't make mistakes as a human being. I guess I do, but the difference, I think my point is that you have to be deliberate about what you do. If you don't want to get into drama, you have to make sure to avoid issues
Getting
that can
yourself.
lead
Yeah.
you into drama. It has to be deliberate. You can't not want to get into drama and hope it doesn't happen while you live your life. You can't have your cake and eat it. So something has to give. So either I'm not going to do this because this might lead to, or I'm going to do this and
And
whatever
know
happens.
exactly
Yeah,
what the
yeah.
outcome is.
So I'm a very deliberate person. In almost everything I do, is by design. I'll have thought it through. So I've been privileged then not to be in drama, as you put it. But the truth is that I've been very deliberate in my dealings.
Just to end the interview, what advice would you give to a young person out there who is trying to do something great? Someone who is trying to shoot for the stars?
I would say start. I think that the biggest problem that we have is to start. I think a lot of people have got great ideas. Right now, person who's watching this has a brilliant idea. They want to start. You see, but they're waiting for the moment. When this is there, then I'll start. When this one does this, it's like how we say. Right now, you have an idea, then you say January. Nyam. Why should January be the month that
New
you
Year's
start?
resolutions.
Yeah, I don't. Look, I like that the New Year's resolutions. I like that people begin to think. It helps for people to make decisions. But I don't work by the months. For instance, I don't work by the year. I work because I feel I have to. If I want to do something, I will start. The first, by the time we're doing New Year's, I'm already resolved in what I want to do because every day, and such that when I don't have a situation where I've failed, then I'll say next year in Zamba food. If I fail, I'll start again the following day.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that a lot of us can do a lot of things, but the biggest problem is that we wait for the perfect condition, which is never there. And also, we wait for maybe people to understand and start accepting that. I've waited for a long time, and I'm not saying I'm perfect. I've waited for a long time to write my book. I've always had reasons why I've not written. And yet when I started to write and decided, like right now my book is done, it's just being in edit and it will be out there hopefully before the end of this year.
Oh, okay.
That's my plan. But it's something that I've been thinking about for a long time and I just never started. But having said that, there's a lot of things I've started because I've said, let me do this. The way I started Born and Bred was end of the year, what am I going to do this year? How am I going to end this year of Born and Bred? That was the first year it ran. And I said, what can I do an awards show? I could have waited to do a bit of research, to find out if it's going to be
exactly.
accepted, if the people out there. No. If I feel it,
You go after
you
it.
go after it because ideas are like a baby crying in church. You have to take it out. You have to run with it. Or else
You actually have to do something.
about it, or else it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So when you wait, somebody else starts. And then you're like, but that was my idea.
Same idea.
In fact, you start to cry foul. To who? The world doesn't wait for anyone, doesn't respect anyone. If you start something, the world will open up for you to do what you want to do. It does. The universe just obeys. If you want to bake, to make bread, go to a person who has made bread and ask for advice, and you will be able to make the bread. It doesn't matter who you are. You will do it. So you, for instance, and that people at times ask me how I get, how I've run my shop for that long, where I get the inspiration from, the courage to keep doing it. It's because of, for instance, when I heard your story, when you got in touch with me, you're inspired by me, but I'm inspired by you because I lived in Sesheke. And I don't know whether if I continue to live there, I would have done what you've done, but that inspires me because I know that place. And I know that for you to be able to stand out and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to for instance, run this channel. We're in a place where you'd think maybe Facebook and whatever is not the biggest like it is in all Line of Rail and everywhere else. It's inspirational enough. It takes somebody to have thought about it and started. Now you're meeting all these guys. I saw your interview with Mark too.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? You know what I'm saying? But people who have made it is strange because people don't get this. People who have done well in their field like to talk about what they've done because we hope to inspire the next person. So you'll find that it's not very difficult to inspire, to talk to Shefi, to talk to Mr. Nguzu. Even I can say, Mr. Nguzu, there's a young man that I feel you should talk to, and he will come and you'll talk to him.
I mean, that would be great if you can do something like that for me. I mean,
Of course I can. As long as it's not tied up, I can definitely do that. But all I'm saying is that people are afraid to start. So for me, what I always want to say to young people is that whatever you feel that you want to do, as long as you're not committing a crime, as long as something that is good, is something that you're passionate about and you want it to happen for you, there is no best time to start than now. Just start. The mistakes you make, all of us do, you correct them along the way. As long as you've started, you'll be so surprised how this can happen like this. All those doubts you're having, the moment you start to realize that some of them were it was just fear taking over. But
literally just your brain.
Yeah, just your brain, because even your brain doesn't want to expand itself so much.
Yeah.
So it will restrict you because you're going in enchanted waters. So it will tell you, what if? Yeah, there's always what if. I mean, we drive to our workplaces every day. What if we were involved in an accident?
Exactly.
We jump on the buses every day. What if we're involved we've seen accidents every day, but we still jump on a bus. So it's the same. If you want to start something, start it. What if it fails? So what? You'll have learned something that you can't do it that way. And you did different the next time. Yeah.
That's very deep. I'll take that advice anytime. Well, thank you very much for coming on my little show.
Yeah, but it has started.
Exactly. Yeah. I've actually been, for those that don't know, we've actually been talking for quite some time. And when I traveled to Lusaka, obviously I had to meet him, and it took some time, but today we've actually met, and I am so grateful.
I think yesterday I went live on my page and I talked about I was talking about the heat. Then I talked about how I'm meeting this young man. We're gonna have coffee. We didn't have coffee though today. We had drinks instead,
Lemonade.
like lemonade. But I said I'm going to meet this young man, and I didn't because I went to town. I was trying to get myself some soccer boots, and I ended up meeting a friend. And I'm like, I'm supposed to meet this guy, but good thing I didn't call you. I just said it. But I didn't call you. So today I said, you know what? Whatever happens, I'm meeting this guy because I get really inspired that sometimes what I say can inspire people because growing up, I didn't have a chance to be inspired by a lot of people. I'll tell you that. One of the people that came to my school was Winston Zulu. He was the first person living with HIV who had come out in the country to say he's positive. And he went around schools talking. He came to St. John's, my school, and I was so amazed. And, it made me make certain decisions in my life because of his talk.
Yeah.
So I'm telling myself, you know what if I had a person also talking to me about certain different things? Because obviously that was HIV and AIDS. So obviously the talk is to do with women, with girlfriends and whatever, having sex. So imagine if somebody talked to me about education, somebody talked to me about my profession, a profession that I'm excited about. I would have made certain decisions based on that, but we never had that opportunity. So for me, whenever some school wants me to go and talk to them, I'm very happy to, because I know what impact it can make on a student who's seated there. So when you wanted to talk to me, I'm always going to agree when a young person wants to meet me, because I know that it might be inspirational to them. I could help them in the end. Yeah. So I know we had a bit of a difficulty, but I was just busy. But here we are.
Well, I think it was inevitable. Eventually, it has happened, and it's I would say it's one of the best things to ever happen to me this year.
Wow! I'm humbled.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much once again. Hope this doesn't stop here. I hope I get to talk to you come another time, come another year.
Anytime.
Yeah, sure. Otherwise, guys, thank you very much for tuning in to yet another episode of The Muse. I'll see you around.